seriously. Our presentation will begin shortly. While we wait, please take a moment to fully prepare for the presentation. First, make sure your audio is working. You should be hearing sound now. Also, please remove all distractions. The information we will be sharing is very important, and we want to make sure you get as much out of it as possible. And finally, be sure to have a notepad and pen so that you can easily take notes and write down references that may be discussed. Thanks again for trusting Trade Maestro with your trading education. We will begin shortly. For thousands of years, if somebody wanted to learn a new skill, maybe learn to make boots or horse saddles, how did they learn that skill? They studied with a master. Trade Maestro builds on this tradition, the relationship between the mentor and the apprentice, but we do it all online. The term maestro means master or an artist of consummate skill. And that's what a trade maestro is. It's a person who has mastered the art of trading. I didn't want to create just another stock market trading company that sells classes. I've done that, and I don't think that's in the best interest of my apprentice. I want to walk him through the process of becoming a great trader, and you don't get there with information overload. You get there by doing it, by getting your hands dirty, by putting into practice. That's the only way to build a new skill.
I love how Jeremy teaches. I love the fact that he teaches things in such a real, practical way.
And he made me realize that I can do this.
I remember when I first started my trading journey, and let's just say I blew up at least 2 accounts.
I know this model of learning to trade works. I've had the opportunity to work with people from over 80 different countries.
And I was skeptical at first. I was kind of like, okay, are you sure about this?
I was always chasing stocks. I would always chase the next hot thing and never had an opportunity to get any profit from it.
I've helped people with trading accounts that are just a few dollars, and I've helped people with trading accounts that are over $1 million.
These courses give me a much
So well is that he breaks it down in a simple form so it's easy to understand.
They're just regular folks, and if I can teach them, I can teach you.
I didn't want to let someone else tell me what the play was and I just follow their lead. I wanted to learn it for myself.
My greatest joy is when somebody that I have taught over the last decade, they reach out and they say something like, you won't believe it, but I actually have people that are asking me to teach them how to trade. Is that okay? You think I can teach them?
Working with you taught me that, stocks go through ups and downs pretty regularly and pretty predictable.
The portion that my husband has now been able to take over and own has outperformed the market and is doing better than the rest of our retirement. It is totally life-changing.
Just to think that I touched people, I taught them to do something, I influenced a generation of traders, and now they're taking it forward and they're influencing the next.
At the end of the trade, I ended up making 140%.
It just gives me so much delight and joy knowing that I can still do something with my financial future.
This is not something that's only for other people. I can actually become financially independent.
Not only allow me to make better trades, more lucrative trades, but have more confidence while I trade.
This Trade Maestro membership is excellent because it's got something for everyone. If you're just starting out, or even if you've been trading for a while, you'll find something you like. You need to get enrolled right now. It's affordable, it's comprehensive, and it's risk-free because you can cancel anytime if you decide you don't like it. So if you want to learn to trade the stock market, or if you're looking to take your trading to the next level, you need to get enrolled as a Trade Maestro member right now. following presentation is for educational purposes only. All examples and analysis are intended for these purposes and should not be considered as specific investment or trading advice. All examples are for the purposes of teaching and are not intended to suggest future results. The risk of loss in trading securities, options, futures, forex, and cryptocurrencies can be substantial. Individuals must consider all relevant risk factors, including their own personal financial situation, before trading. Options, futures, and forex are considered more sophisticated investment vehicles due to high leverage and are not suitable for all investors. Well, welcome everybody to another Friday afternoon of Building Blockchains. I am Jeremy Whaley, your host. It's great to have you today as we're getting ready for our last weekend before the holiday season begins. And a lot of Black Friday sales started today. I mean, it's like, this is it, right? We are getting into the Christmas season. We're going to be doing turkey next week. How many of you guys are going to be out shopping this weekend, buying food and maybe buying stuff for the grill so you can get ready for whatever you're doing this coming Thanksgiving. Anyway, it's great to be here, and we got some cool stuff to talk about. Maybe a shorter show today. I don't know. We'll see how we end up on time. But here's our agenda for the day. We're going to talk about market update. Of course, Bitcoin's still crashing. Talk about Texas being the new center for crypto. And I'm going to give you a initial high-level immersion into the charting software that I've been using for years now, and the one that I definitely think is by far the greatest, and that is TradingView, one of the critical tools that you use as a trader. So that's what we're going to be talking about today. You're going to love it. I'm going to love it. And with no further ado, let's get the party started. All right, let's do a little bit of market update. It is another ocean of red. I think this ocean of red is about to end, but today it still looks a little bit, you know what I'm saying. It's not looking too good, right? So Bitcoin's down another 2%, 2,000 points here. Ethereum down another 2% almost. Solana another 3%. Sub 130. Wow, that one hurts a little bit. They all hurt a little bit. XRP, $1.96. There it is. I'm not saying that I was right. I'm just saying I did anticipate it. Told you guys, sub $2 on XRP, and there you are. XLM down to 23 cents. Now, the question, of course, becomes, are we at the bottom yet? And I actually think we're getting really close. Let me show you a couple things. You should be seeing my chart. Maybe not. Wait, did I share the right screen, or was I looking at my own screen here? I don't know if I shared the right screen. Did I share this screen? I think I shared this screen, the Ocean of Red. That's the one I want to be sharing right now. All right, I don't know if I hit the right button or not. It's hard. I got like all these little buttons here, and sometimes I can't see them, so I have to like feel them, and then I push the wrong buttons. And anyway, as I was saying, where we are with Bitcoin today, I'll make it full screen so you can really see it. Where we are with Bitcoin, look, another great long lower shadow. Now, we've been seeing these almost every day. Yesterday was an exception. We've been seeing this buying pressure coming in. Yesterday, market sold really, really heavy. Early today, sold really, really heavy. And now the bulls have started to come back in. They're starting to buy. Now, yesterday, if you remember, I told you, what did I tell you? I said we're looking at somewhere over here as a support level. Where are we at right now? 80,000. If you look to the left, that's the beginning right there. Intraday, we started to hit that price point. That's why I say I think we're really, really close to the bottom here. If you zoom out just a little bit, that is a major, major pivot that's starting to come into play. First thing we do with our support levels is we usually go to the line chart. I'm going to do that right now. We're going to look at a couple of spots here where it could be. This would be the ultimate bottom right around 75,000. I gave that to you yesterday. But there's also a pivot right here. There's kind of some internal pivots, which means that there's a lot of action turning. And you can really pull it up to right there, about 83,000, and say that's a pretty major turn. So if I were to create that as a trading range or a little zone down here, that's what it would look like. Flip over to our candlesticks, and you can really see that. We're right smack in the middle of it. So, yeah, I know it feels dark. I know it feels really dark, especially when you look at all these things. If you've been holding through this, if you were holding Bitcoin at 124 and now you're holding it at 84, it feels really, really dark. And I get that. That's why I want you guys to learn. I want you guys to learn when to get in and when to get out. And I've been teaching some of these things. I try not to overwhelm you, especially on the live stream, but I want your feedback. I want to know what you guys, if I'm going too fast, I'm going too slow. I need to kind of figure out where you guys are at so I can really tailor the messaging to you, because I could go very, very deep. I mean, I could go really deep, and I have to be careful that I don't leave you guys in the dust. But whenever we have a trade like Bitcoin and we're at a market top like we were back in late October, and we start dropping below our averages and our averages turn red, just go to cash. And I know that's hard. Like, people are like, I can't bring myself to do it. It's like, I don't want to sell. It's a 112. It used to be a 124. I know, but I'd rather sell at 112 than to sell at 84, right? I just got a message before we started from a friend of mine. He's like, thinking about taking some of my Bitcoin out. It's down so far. This is the worst time to sell. We don't want to be selling on the wrong side of the trade. So we're finding support. We're going to have to just hunker through this one. If you didn't sell at the top, and I know most of you didn't, this one you're going to have to hodl through. But the good news is you're learning now. And the next time we get to a market top, you'll be all right. Next time we get to a market top, you can close it out earlier. You avoid some of the drawdown, and then you jump back in when we get back down to the bottom. So that's the good news. All right, the other good news that's happening here, if you look at our stochastics, are so oversold, really, really oversold here. I'm going to show you a couple of other indicators that are some of our custom indicators. I won't go into detail, but I'll give you kind of a high level. This is an indicator we call the JMAC. And this is a very, very extreme bearish reading, meaning we've gone about as far as we can go. Like it could go a little bit lower, but not much. Very, very extreme reading. You can look through the left here and see we don't get that reading very, very often. We don't get that far on the other side either. This is a very extreme in the bearish side, which means we're probably pretty close to the end. I can go back. I have to go way back. I have to go to 2021 to get a reading this extremely bearish. Like, that's how far we had gone. And I'm just out of curiosity, I'm going to show you that's where look at that. That's where we bottomed after the post 2020 crash. And that's interesting. I never looked at that before. But if you can see that, draw your attention to it here. So this was you actually see an LA wave count in here, wave 3. We had a pullback here. This pullback after the 2020 rally. So that was 2020 over here. Okay, there's big old sell-off that happened in 2021. And this correlates with where we are now. That was the bottom. And that's what we're looking at now. So I am optimistic that the bottom is coming very, very quickly. I'm going to show you one more sentiment momentum indicator that we look at. This is another one that we created. It's called the crescendo. You can see it's just gotten super, super big. And anytime it's this big, it's that move is probably pretty close to done. Really, really close to done. So I think we are coming into the bottom on this very, very soon. I'm going to hit on the crypto fear index again. This is something we've been looking at the last couple of weeks. This is put out by CoinMarketCap. And if you can read it, it's really hard, and they don't give me a lot of flexibility for making it bigger for you. But we're reading 11. This is the lowest reading that I can see on here. So it looks like since they started the fear greed index, this is the lowest reading. Now, if you're a pessimist, you might be like, see, I told you it was bearish. Yeah, I know. I've been saying it was bearish. I said that in October. I said we were peaking. We were going to have a pullback. You got to get on the right side of the trade. Here's what I'm telling you about this fear greed index. What this is showing you is the sentiment has swung all the way to the other side, all the way over. We're extreme. And that's why when we look at the headlines in a minute, you're going to see, oh, everybody's bearish. Why is everybody bearish? Because they're extreme. They're on the wrong side of the trade now. So I do think we're coming very, very close. If it doesn't happen this week, I think by this time next week, I think we'll be hitting the bottom for crypto. Pretty much everything looks about the same here. Ethereum looks about the same. XRP, like I said, sub $2 here. We actually intraday traded all the way down to $1.81. That's pretty cheap for XRP. Good deal, right? Solana, 23 cents. This is, look, there are no guarantees in the free markets. None. But if I had to bet, and I guess you would say in some ways trading is betting, I think this is the bottom for XLM. I really do. I like it at 23 cents. If it just comes collapsing below this support, we'll look over here to the left and see if we want to pick some up in the 15 cent or even 10 cent range. I don't think we're going to get there. I think this is the bottom. So let's see. Now, if you were here yesterday, you remember I taught you we don't buy just because we hit support. We buy when we hit support and we bounce, right? That's when we start buying. So no, even though I just said I think this is the bottom, I did not say this is time to start buying XLM. I didn't say that. But I do think we're really, really close to the bottom. If this isn't it today, in the next 2 or 3, 4 trading sessions, I think we've got the bottom. We'll see. We'll find out. Solana sub 130, but again, we're getting these long lower candlestick shadows showing that the buyers are starting to show up. We're so oversold at this point. So in the same way that back in October, everybody's like, oh, look at this, 124, 125,000 Bitcoin. It's amazing. Everybody should be in crypto. Now it's the opposite. Oh, it's a crypto winter. This is terrible. Get on the right side of the trade. Get the emotions out of the deal. Recognize what you're dealing with and learn to trade the momentum. Trade where we are. All right, let's look at some news headlines. All right, I just mentioned it to you. We've got, that's the wrong one. All the headlines are Bitcoin heading for the worst month since crypto collapse of 2022. Didn't I just kind of say that? Remember, I just showed you the momentum indicators that I was showing you from 2021. The news headline's always going to make it as bad as they can make it. They really are, because they're just terrible people, pretty much. I mean, they're good people that don't know how to get attention in any way other than fear-mongering. But the fact that all the headlines, and I'm looking for anything I can pull out today that's not Bitcoin is dying. I'm looking for anything that's not extreme. I can't find it. Because everybody's saying this. Anytime the news gets to the point where everybody's saying it, guess what? We're almost done. So you heard me talk about in the last week or two accumulation. Accumulation periods happen when the informed traders start to come in, accumulate new positions. News is the most bearish. You appear contrarian. I'm just giving you the indicators here. I showed you on the chart where we are. I showed you with the sentiment indicators where we are. I'm showing you now through the headlines where we are. Don't panic at the bottom. The worst place to panic is at the bottom. Just don't be that trader, please. And if you are that trader, just don't tell them you learned it from me, because I didn't teach you to panic at the bottom. All right, that's my only headline I want to share on that. I literally could have pulled out 100 headlines that all say the same thing. It's just terrible. You can almost hear it in their voices. So instead of pulling out the terrible stuff, what am I pulling out for you? I'm pulling out Black Friday sales from TradingView. I'm going to talk about TradingView here in just a minute, just because I was going to do it anyway. And it just so happened that this morning I got an email. Hey, we're launching our Black Friday sales. And this is a newsworthy headline right here, up to 80% off. I'm going to tell you exactly what you should do. Okay. I've been using this software for years. And I usually tell people, you don't need, the free version's annoying, okay? The free version's annoying because they're always popping ads up. But all you really have to have is the essential version. That's all you really have to have. If you have the basic essential version, you're in good shape. You really are. You can do everything you want to do with that. But for most people, I do recommend you get the Plus version, because the Plus version gives you everything you need. It's only like 20 or 30 bucks a month. I think it's $30 a month. It's just not, it's not that expensive. And when you look at old softwares that I used to pay, $3,000 a year for and so much, it's just nothing, right? But check this out with this Black Friday promotion. I know I sound like a salesman. With this Black Friday promotion coming to you. Looky here, you can get the Plus for 40% off, which is great. $216 for only 13 months. That works out to $16.62 a month. Okay. Look here, for $1 more. $1 more. You bump up to the premium edition, which adds a whole bunch of additional, not necessary features, but good features. But this is normally $60 a month. And it works out to literally $16.69 a month for 13 months. You get into this thing. You're saving over $502. They offer this promo every Black Friday. Every Black Friday. And if you don't take it, you're SOL until every other Easter. I get this same promo. So you might get this again in Easter. I don't know if you'll get it again in Easter or not, but if you've been thinking about, you need a good charting software, you've been thinking about TradingView, I'm just going to tell you, find a way to do it. This is going to save you a ton of money, and you'll really be happy because you have so much flexibility with this particular version, and you should take that deal. Now, to that end, I am an affiliate with TradingView. Full disclosure, if you take that deal, I think I get $10 or $15. It's not very much, but I did put a link in the show description. So if you're on Rumble, if you're on YouTube, you can click down below or send me an email, jeremy@trademaestro.com. I'll send you my affiliate link, and then I can get your $10. I mean, somebody's going to get it. It's probably going to be TradingView, but they're like a $300 million a year company, and I'm not. So I'd like your 10 or 15 bucks, and that would be cool if you would share that with me. All right, that's another big story today. Another one I wanted to share with you. This comes from Kitco. So this is actually a gold dealer, believe it or not. And a gold dealer, Kitco, runs a headline. It caught my attention. Crypto SWAT. Texas is emerging as a strategic hub for crypto innovation. I thought that was an interesting headline, and I'll tell you why in just a minute. Then the really weird thing is I had to dig for the story. I mean, it's like way down here under opportunities, and they talk about how Texas is emerging as a strategic hub for crypto innovation. Coinbase's decision to leave Delaware, did you guys know that was happening? And reincorporate in Texas, along with like so many people from California, because let's be honest, Texas rocks. Reincorporating in Texas highlights the state's rise as a pro-innovation environment with lower costs, lower energy costs, friendlier regulations, tax rules, clearer legal frameworks. Texas' push to attract blockchain firms creates a strong support for digital asset companies, positioning the state as a growing U.S. center for crypto development. This shift may accelerate institutional investment and industry expansion. There you go. Why is that a big story? What you are starting to see, if you hadn't noticed it already, what you're starting to see is the migration, and the hub for crypto is going to be a combination of Texas and Florida. Miami's a huge crypto hub right now. It's going to continue to do so. Texas, as this article suggests, is becoming one. And you're going to see these two become basically the financial centers. Mark my words for it. New York City, sorry. You kind of communist mayored yourself out of capitalism. So you should have thought about that. I actually think in the next, depending on how the politics go, the next 8 to 10 years could see, I can't believe I'm prophesying this, the next 8 to 10 years could see the demise of Wall Street as the financial center. I'm actually saying that. Why? Because when you end up with a political environment that is the opposite of capitalism, this is what happens. So I think it's a pretty interesting story that's emerging, and it leads into something I mentioned yesterday. I talked yesterday about 11 crypto coins that are some of the best trades that you can make right now in 2025. And I pointed one out that was not on the list. And that was a coin called Texit. And I told you I started researching this, really got excited about it. So I'm going to show you the chart again here. This is the Texit coin. It's actually one of the only charts that is green today. That little glitch, I don't know what that data glitch is, but while everything else has been a sea of red, Texit has been a barely sea of green, but it's been some green, right? So we got a little, maybe it's not a sea of green, maybe it's a little algae on the top, I don't know, but it's green nonetheless. And this is an amazing project. I'm going to talk about it for about 10 seconds here, maybe 30 seconds. You can learn more over at texitcoin.org. As I learn more about it, the more I believe in it. And I'm probably going to share some more about this with you next week because I really believe in this. In fact, I think I may commit a whole show to it. Texit Coin is doing everything that crypto's not. It's pretty dang cool. They basically have taken the concept of Bitcoin, and they're saying Bitcoin was taken over by big money. Now it's basically big fund money, investment houses, yada, yada, yada. And the little guy, the whole purpose of Bitcoin has kind of gotten lost. You look at XRP. I know some of y'all are like part of the XRP army, and you're going to be like, XRP all the way. XRP is the World Economic Forum. Come on, let's not fool ourselves. XRP looks a whole lot like, what you guys are arguing for looks a whole lot like a CBDC, central bank digital currency. Texit is the opposite. It's putting the control back in the hands of the people, and the opportunity they've created, it's amazing. It really is. And I'm going to be honest, I looked at this several months ago and I laughed at it, and now we're not laughing. And so I'm being candid with you. I'm being honest with you. This is a trade that had you gotten into it at the beginning of the year, you would be up like, I don't know, my math's not that good, but you could have got it for, like 20 cents, maybe 5 cents. I don't know. It was beginning of the year. You could have got it for a penny, 15 cents, something over here. Looks like 14 cents on January 2nd. It was 14 cents. You could have got this for 14 cents in January. It has traded over $7. It is currently in the mid threes, holding strong in the middle of a crypto winter, as some people are calling it. And there's substance to this. And that's why I'm talking about it, because there is substance to it. And I was looking at some of the numbers, and if they do what they say they're looking to do, by February, this could be another 200 or 300% higher. They're looking at $16 by February and a $1 billion market cap. And it's under the radar. Almost nobody knows about it. I'm telling you, this is an emerging opportunity. You should look at it. So I think I'm going to do a show on this next week, Texas Coin. And in my news segment today, I wanted to highlight it because it's good news and it's different than what everybody else is saying, which is the sky is falling. The sky is falling. Run for the hills. Crypto was just a terrible. I know I get a little dramatic, but I'm dramatic because the freaking traders are dramatic. I mean, how often do you look at social media and people are just whining about market action and what's going on? And it's like, why are y'all such whiny, you know what? Like, come on, stop whining about it. Folks, take a look at my screen. I don't have any slides for this. I don't need slides for this today. Take a look at my screen. This is a software called TradingView. I'm going to spend the rest of the day talking about this. TradingView is one of the most important tools that you can have as a trader. Every week, I'm going to try to do one show where we feature some of the trading tools that are worth using. And this is a trading tool that you need. In fact, every trader needs it. I would say you need a charting software as much as you need a broker. If I was stuck on a desert island and I had to trade, I would rather have a dial-up telephone and charting software than to have high-speed internet and a broker, because this is what tells me everything right here. And I want you guys to kind of understand that. Very few people, especially beginning traders, realize the importance of the charting software. So I'm going to kind of just give you a high-level overview. I'm not going to go into detail. In future episodes, we'll go into, maybe we'll do some episodes on scans, or we'll do some episodes on setting up watch lists or whatever. But today I just want to show you what you can do with it and introduce you to it. And like I said, there's a Black Friday sale going on right now. If you guys use my link, which is my affiliate link, I might get $10 or $15. It's not very much, but I don't really care, because I would rather see you buy a premium subscription for $217 for the next 13 months. I'd rather see you do that than not have a charting software. So if I don't make any money on it, I don't really care. I think I've made like $200 in 5 years referring people to TradingView. It's not a big money maker. But what I want to show you, let's say, most people are going to go to a place like Coinbase. Let me see if I can pull this up. Most people can go to a place like Coinbase, and this is their exchange. This is their everything. And I never deal on this screen, and I'm not going to open my account. So let's see what this screen looks like. If you go over here, and no, we're not opening all that stuff up. Definitely not opening all that stuff up. Well, apparently I can't show it to you, but I was trying to show you. I guess I have to be logged in to do it. I wanted to show you what it looks like whenever you look at a coin, and it doesn't look like anything. It's just data. Like, it doesn't give you any insight into what the value of this is, what it has been, what it could be, what it should be. There's no analytical information in the back end of your crypto dealer. Now, some people go to a place like DexTrade, and DexTrade, let's see if it'll let me do this. I think it will. On DexTrade, which is a decentralized exchange, see, I can't remember which ones of these I actually have accounts on. So sometimes I see tools, and apparently this is just a whitewash here. Look at that. Why are we not coming up? What are we doing here? Let's load. Making my show really, really awkward here because it's not coming up. Is this maybe this is their new Black Friday special. For Black Friday, Dextrade copied the Beatles' White Album. Like, it's all white. That's Dextrade's Black Friday offer. It's totally out of the box advertising. Yes, this is satire. I'm being sarcastic in case you didn't read it. Well, anyway, I can't show you here, but they do launch inside this a little widget that is a TradingView charting widget, but it doesn't help you. It doesn't help you one bit. I mean, it gives you a little bit of data, but you want to go to the source. Go to TradingView. This is the primary source for charting data today, especially in the world of crypto. And what I want to show you is there's just so many things you can do with it. On the right side over here, one of the things that I love to do is I love to set up watch lists. This watch list right here is from my Sunday night class. We call it Profit Picks. And you can see the date there that I just marked through accidentally. And I will literally teach my class just working through my watch list. Well, you could do the same thing working through your trades that you want to look at and work through. What do I do in here every day whenever we do market updates? I come in and I click on my watch list. I click on Bitcoin, which is sitting right here, and we talk about it. I click on Ethereum, sitting right there, and I literally just go down my watch list. And if you want the fastest way to look at trades, you need a watch list set up. And a good software like TradingView is going to give that to you, okay? Another thing that you get with a software like this is you get all the charting data. And that's very important. If you don't have the price data in a good, clean chart that you can work with, you can't go back and make informed trading decisions. You're literally stabbing in the dark. You're guessing. You're truly gambling because you don't have the information. That's why I say I would rather be stranded on a desert island with charts than in a dial-up phone to call the broker and place my trade than I would be to have high-speed internet and be able to execute trades but not have charting data. The chart is everything. I don't know when you guys get that, but you got to get it. The chart is everything. Okay, so I want you to understand that. Next, I want you to notice what kind of tools you can use with it. You can have alternative layouts. So let's see if we can create an extra layout here. I have a couple because I have my main layout, and then I have the one that I use for our daily live streams. My main layout that I use on Sunday nights looks totally different because I got other stuff in here. I have other analysis and I have all the stuff I talk about with my advanced students in here. But if you want to create an alternative one, you just create a new layout and we'll say this is a new live layout and you're going to get a whole new clean set of charts and everything's gone and you can come in and you can do a new set of analysis on it and start working, and you don't mess up your other charts. So you can come in here, you can go between different layouts, and you can say, okay, I got multiple views that I can work with, and that can be really useful for you and give you a great resource. Another thing that you might really enjoy is your side-by-side layouts. So you can have multiple charts next to each other. If you want to say, what does Stellar look like compared to Bitcoin? Well, here it is. We can compare them side by side, or you could compare them on top of each other like this. You know, you see what I'm starting to say here? Like, actually, let me make this bigger for you so you can really see all this. This is a tool that gives you the ability to do analysis and do comparison and really see what stuff looks like. But just the layouts alone, that maybe doesn't excite you as much as it should. I mean, it should really excite you. But the ability to come in here and have access to all this charting data. So for example, let's do a comparison right here. Let's do two charts on top of each other. And I'm going to sync this in a way that the symbols are separate, but the interval is the same and the time is the same. So you can tell it, you know, does my cursor work together? You can see it working together, or is it separate? And as I move one, all that's going to start to align here. Now what I'm going to do, across the top, I'm going to do XLM USD. So that's Stellar US dollar. That gives you the quote of what Stellar is. On the bottom, you see Bitcoin USD. So you can see that between the two of these, Stellar and Bitcoin, they kind of look similar, but Bitcoin, you know, looks like it's selling off a little bit more. How would you know if Stellar or Bitcoin were outperforming? And the way you would do that is we would take this bottom chart here, and we would say, I'm going to turn this into XLM /BTC. That's XLM Bitcoin. Now what we're doing is we're looking at XLM quoted in Bitcoin. And now you see how XLM compares to Bitcoin directly. This is what a great charting software will allow you to do. It allows you to see perspective of what these different assets are doing next to each other. You see here that, okay, XLM Bitcoin actually looks a lot like XLM US dollar. That's interesting. But what if we looked at something a little different? Let's say we looked at Ethereum Bitcoin. It would help if I typed the right symbol, BTC. If we look at Ethereum Bitcoin, you're going to see that for, let's compare this to Bitcoin itself, which I've got right here. If you look at Ethereum Bitcoin versus Bitcoin, you're going to notice that Bitcoin is selling a lot faster. Well, once you learn to interpret this data, what that will tell you is Ethereum is outperforming Bitcoin. Is that useful information? I think it's really useful information. It's useful to know that Ethereum is not falling as fast as Bitcoin is. That's good. So if you were to move your money and say, where's it better to be? Is it better to be in Ethereum or is it better to be in Bitcoin? This chart would tell you that. Okay, so I'm just kind of giving you some examples of some of the stuff that you can do. And, hopefully you're kind of starting to see this here. All the charting stuff that I do, drawing lines, drawing trend lines, all of this happens inside your charting software. And while you can do it in some of the free softwares that are out there and some of the stuff that your brokers and your exchanges will provide, they're not going to store your lines in a way that something like TradingView would. And it's going to be too hard to really get good quality analysis. So it's really easy in something like TradingView to come in and do all these different types of analysis. If you want to see what a parallel channel would look like, you come in here and draw it and you say, where am I drawing it off of? I'm drawing it off of here. Oh, that's interesting information. You're not going to get that with your basic free charting. And once you see that information, does it give you any insight that, maybe I'm at the bottom of this channel. Maybe I shouldn't be freaking out the way I'm freaking out. But if you don't see that information, if you don't see that perspective and you don't have the tools to see it, you're vulnerable. All you can do is come out here and you get what you get and you're making whatever guesses you're making. And that's why a lot of your trades are not doing what you want them to do. What if you were to do some analysis on Bitcoin with some tools like, for example, your Fibonacci tools? Now, you may not know what fibs are yet, but I'm going to show you what if we drew this wave right here, and I go from closing price to closing price. It's the way you do it. And we were to say, how far have we pulled back? Well, we've pulled back right now the equivalent of a 786, which is part of your Fibonacci numbers. That's interesting, okay? We almost got 100% there, which if we did that, then we would need to come back to the previous wave because we're clearly retracing a larger cycle, and we may be anyway. And so if I were to draw that in there and say, where have we pulled back to? Well, look at this. We're just below the 50% pullback, very close to the 618 pullback. Actually, we touched that today. Is that interesting? Well, maybe not to you, but it is to me. Really interesting to me to recognize that if I draw a Fibonacci retracement along this wave cycle, and I look at where this current bear market has gone, it has pulled back to this retracement. Now it reads 382, but it's the inverse of that. It's 618 because it's pulled back 0.618% from this entire move. That is a Fibonacci number. There is value in that. There's really, really good insight in recognizing that. Okay, so I'm going with yet another form of analysis right now and telling you, I think Bitcoin's pretty close to the bottom. Like everything's starting to line up for that. Is that useful? Yeah, it's super, super useful. You're not going to be able to do that with most of your free trading tools. But then you get to the next point and you say, okay, well, where should Bitcoin go next? If this was the fib wave that we know we're working with, where would it extend to next? And then we use some fib extensions like this and we say, wow, I can make an argument that takes me all the way up to 150. Next target, if we come back in here and we make a higher high, my next target's 130 and then about 150, 151. Folks, I just gave you, without you even knowing all the details of it, I just gave you a forecast that suggests to you that Bitcoin has 150 in the future. I couldn't do that if I was using a donkey free charting software. So I'm just showing you and trying to make the argument for you that having good professional charting tools is going to be the difference of your ability to do good analysis and actually know what you're doing, as opposed to guessing in the market. Of course, you're going to have things like our custom indicators, and I've already shared these with you, but we have things like the Trade Maestro averages, and these averages will literally tell you when to get in and get out. You buy when it's green, you sell when it's red. That is about as easy as you can make it. If you started selling Bitcoin when it turned red back in October, you would have been selling Bitcoin about $113 per coin, as opposed to today at $84,000. Would you rather sell at $113,000 or $84,000? I don't know. I mean, it's your money. I don't care. Genuinely don't care. But just having access to tools like this is going to make you so much of a better trader. And, I could go on and on about all the different features that we've got here in TradingView from a drawing standpoint, an analysis standpoint, a markup. But yeah, you need that. That's the number one thing that you need out of a charting software. And TradingView has it. TradingView also has the most access to crypto exchange data. So if you're looking for crypto charts, TradingView is going to have the most complete set of crypto charts. You'll be able to find charts on TradingView that you can't find on any other charting software, especially for crypto. Now, when it comes to stocks and futures and whatnot, there's other charting softwares that do a good job. I still think at this point, TradingView's premier. I think it's much better. But for years, I used other charting software, and the first charting software I bought was $1,000 for a year. And then once I got it, I realized it didn't have intraday data. It didn't have any of the stuff that I needed. And I had to upgrade, and it ended up being $4,000 a year. And I used that for several years. That was my primary charting software until I finally made the switch to TradingView. Another benefit of TradingView is you can use it on any platform. So you can use it on Mac, you can use it on Windows, you can use it on your iPad, you can use it on your iPhone, you can use it on Linux if you want to. You can use it on anything, and it's HTML5. If the computer that you're working on can pull web pages, it can pull TradingView. Now, there's another feature in here that many of you don't realize exists, but you're going to realize it right now. At the bottom, there's something called a trading panel, and you can open up a free paper trading account, which means you can open this and start trading inside TradingView and placing trades and practicing and experiencing what does it mean to place a trade without risking any real money. One of my favorite ways to teach people how to trade is to use a simulated account like this. And it's built into TradingView. Not only that, you can look at all these additional brokers that are in TradingView. This is a partial list right here. But if you trade with NinjaTrader or Moomoo or Amp Futures, or if you're trading Forex with Owanda, all these different brokers interface. So if you're up in Canada and you're using interactive brokers, or if in the States using interactive brokers, Webull is in here. Tasty Trade, stocks, options, futures, there are crypto, there are brokers in here for everything. How many of you have ever used Gemini? If you're using Gemini for crypto, you can trade in your Gemini account directly from TradingView. So that's just one of the many that are in here. Tradier is another really good one that's in here. And if you look at the bottom, there's another button that says show all brokers. Well, look at here. Look at all these brokers. Bybit, all these crypto brokers, Forex futures brokers, everybody's in here. Not everybody, but there's a lot. And you can interface directly inside TradingView and trade through this platform with your exchange. And I think that is a really cool feature and something that many of you would like to do. A lot of my students really like to trade through TradingView. I would say that, I don't know, at least 50% of them, but a lot of them really like to trade through TradingView. So yeah, that's kind of my big picture orientation. And if you don't have a TradingView account yet, you should go set one up. You should go set one up because you can do a free one. And if you don't want to pay for it, if you just can't justify it, then stay on the free one. You'll have some ads that pop up, but you can deal with that. And if you can justify it, which I think you can, I think anybody can, pay for it. and use my affiliate link if you would be so kind. Right now, you can get this Black Friday promotion, which is just amazing. $217, you get the premium version, which has got all sorts of features, and it's only $1 more than the Plus version. So, and the Plus version is already on discount here. So it just makes sense to do this. Like I said, you'll get this offer once a year. Every year on Black Friday, they'll give you basically this offer. And based on my experience, every other year on Easter, they will give you this offer. So there you go. That's my big presentation. It's not a sales pitch. I'm not trying to sell it. I really am not trying to sell it. I just want you to realize that this is a tool that you need. And hopefully I've made an argument for you. In the future, what I'm going to do in some future episodes is I'll go a little deeper into some of these specific tools, and we'll do highlights specifically. How do you use this tool? What about the scanner? See, I didn't even talk about that. There's scanning features in here. You want to go find different trades that are available for you. You just set up your custom scanners, and it goes through and it pulls out trades that fit your criteria. You can do a trading alerts, like everything that you need, you can do with TradingView. It's fantastic. All right. So with that said, there, like I say, are no excuses. Now you've seen it. Now you know. If you check the show description, there's my link. Go use it if you want to get the Black Friday deal. If you don't want the Black Friday deal, I don't care. I don't have a dog in the fight. It's your money. It's your trades. It's your future. It's your kid's retirement. I'm just kidding. Look, like I say, I don't care. But if you see it and you say, yeah, I need that, use the link. It'll help me out a little bit. It'll save you some money, and we can all win. All right, folks, that's what I got for you today. I hope you got some good stuff out of this. If you haven't liked and followed already, please do so. If you're over on YouTube, subscribe. If you're on Rumble, please follow. We are at Trade Maestro on both platforms, rumble.com/TradeMaestro, youtube.com/@TradeMaestro. Like and follow, subscribe. We'll get into more detailed analysis stuff and some of the other stuff that we've been doing. We'll do that next week. I just wanted to take a Friday a little easy here. So I hope you guys all have a wonderful weekend, a wonderful afternoon. I wish all of you the best. I got nothing else for you today. So until next time, happy trading. Have a great weekend. We'll talk to you soon.